Happy Monday and welcome back to Pastoring in the Digital Parish. We are journeying together through the landscape of digital ministry and figuring out how to build an effective strategy for your church. We're walking a bit of a slippery slope in today's National Podcast Post-Month mini episode. We're never afraid to walk the edge here. I'm Ryan Dunn, and today I'm going to invite you to play the comparison game. Yeah, as we talk about learning from other digital communities. I call this a slippery slope because this can definitely go too far. For me, in the past, it has gone too far. I got resentful of others' ministries' successes, and I lost sight of what I could just learn from them. So here's my warning that if that's starting to happen to you, you need to unfollow the model organizations or ministries that are getting to you. And remember this, in the digital world, somebody somewhere is doing something better than you are. Somebody knows something that you don't know. Somebody gets more with less. They figured it out. When talking about comparing with other digital ministries, we're not seeking to become them. We're just seeking to learn from them. Let's face it, it's invaluable to look beyond our own communities for inspiration and fresh perspectives. We have to do it. Observing how other organizations manage their digital presence can provide us with new ideas and approaches that really do benefit our ministries. So let's identify some spaces where we can find learning opportunities. Many nonprofits excel at digital storytelling and community engagement. So find some around some issues that you support or how somehow manage to grab your attention, like even if you're not 100% sold on their mission. Observe their social media strategies, how they share their stories of impact, and how they interact with their audience. And with that in mind, corporate brands have learnings to offer as well. While their goals differ, many brands have mastered the art of digital marketing, so we can pay attention to their content strategies, their customer engagement, and how they create brand loyalty. I really enjoy seeing how many corporate brands build a sense of identity through commenting and responses, even as kind of this corporate entity and not a personal entity. That is fascinating to me. Educational institutions share stories well as well. They share stories well too. How about that? Universities and online educational platforms often have well-structured digital content strategies, especially when it comes to disseminating information and hosting online events. And since they're involved with young people, sometimes they're just a little tick ahead on some of the trends and can help us imagine how we might apply those to our own context. So follow your alma mater, follow your favorite sports school, follow a growing school. After gleaning some ideas from these groups, then it would be good to look at churches and ministries in digital spaces, maybe with an eye for how they apply what you've learned from these other organizations, but also looking at what content hits well and what misses for them. And don't just shoot for like the biggest church social media accounts you can find. Look at ministries that are similar to yours. What is one thing that they're doing that might be useful in your context? Looking at the biggest, most resource churches isn't really going to be super useful to most of us because we don't have the resources available to recreate what they do. But also, and again, for most of us, that just isn't our context. There's a reason our people aren't at local megachurch. We're not trying to be local megachurch. So we want to first invest in learning from our peers because their people might just resemble our people a little bit more. Some useful platforms on which to explore include LinkedIn. That's a great resource for professional insights and case studies in digital strategy. If you can find the professionals behind some of the accounts that you're learning from, then LinkedIn becomes really, really useful. Many times, these professionals share the resources they are learning from. And I've found YouTube to be a great resource. There are numerous channels on digital marketing and social media trends, all kinds of tips on how to save time and implement new processes. And not only can you learn from what they say, but you'll learn from what they do as well, how they're saying what they say. And of course, podcasts are huge. There's this one called Pastoring in the Digital. just kidding. Search for podcasts focusing on digital strategy, social media, and community building. There are plenty. It's really just a matter of finding those that vibe with you. As you're doing all of this, try as you might to hold everything in a good perspective. While it's beneficial to learn from others, it's important to maintain that right, healthy perspective so we can avoid comparison traps. Remember that each community is unique. Your community is unique. What works for one may not be suitable for another. Use these observations for inspiration and not necessarily for direct imitation. Also, stay true to your mission. Align any new strategies or ideas with your church's core values and mission. It's about enhancing your ministry and not changing who you are to match the platform that you're trying to grow into. Does that make sense? Of course it does. And focus on practicality over perfection. Not all successful strategies require big budgets or resources, so focus on practical, achievable ideas that you can adapt to your own context. Focus on that one right next step. And then we want to try to avoid envy. It's easy to feel envious of larger or seemingly more successful digital communities. I know, I get it. Instead of envy, focus on the opportunities for growth and learning that these examples provide. In today's digital age, we can learn so much from one another by observing and adapting the successful strategies of other digital communities. We can enhance our own digital ministry in meaningful and, again, mission-aligned ways. I'd like to learn from you and what works in your context. So drop into our Pastoring in the Digital Parish Facebook group, say hi, and then tune in again tomorrow as we continue to explore the diverse and dynamic world of digital ministry and build your digital ministry strategy. Pastoring in the Digital Parish is brought to you by Resource UMC, the online destination for leaders throughout the United Methodist Church. Visit often to find ideas and information to inspire leaders throughout the connection. All right, again, my name is Ryan Dunn. May your journey be filled with insightful learning and inspired adaptation. Peace.